Well, it's been a real joy to be with you. And I really wish you much benefit from this merit that you've made and time that you've spent and from your practice in general. And I really want to encourage you and encourage you to reach out if you want support, and to really find a lot of joy in your practice as much as possible, and not to be discouraged when it's not there. Just keep on going forward. I do want to just one last time direct you to the final words in the sutta, or that part toward the end where the Buddha is describing, not only how each of these four tetrads satisfy the satipatthana, the foundations of mindfulness, but also help us to develop and perfect the 7 factors of enlightenment. So he says, when you ask how do the 4 kinds of mindfulness meditation developed and cultivated fulfill the 7 factors of awakening, the 7 awakening factors. He says, whenever a mendicant meditates by observing an aspect of the body, which is what we're doing with the breath, but there are the other methods in the satipatthana. At that time, their mindfulness is established and lucid. At such a time, a mendicant has activated the awakening factor of mindfulness, and they develop it and perfect it. And is considering what it means to develop it. And I wouldn't get too hung up on making it perfect, but that idea of really cultivating mindfulness. And this can be done simply through being aware of the in-breath and the out-breath, working with those instructions at the beginning of Anapanasati. And when we live mindfully in this way, so living mindfully, the beautiful thing, then we investigate, explore, and inquire into the Dhamma. Here it's principles, but Dhamma, just use the word Dhamma. Exploring, investigating into the Dhamma with wisdom. And at such a time, a mendicant has activated the awakening factor of investigation of Dhamma. And they develop it and perfect it. And as they investigate these principles, this Dhamma with wisdom, in this way their energy is roused up and unflagging. And at such a time, a mendicant has activated the awakening factor of energy. And they develop it and perfect it. And when they're energetic, spiritual rapture arises, PT arises. And at such a time, the mendicant has activated the awakening factor of rapture. They develop it and perfect it. And when the mind is full of PT, when the body and the mind becomes tranquil, at that time, the practitioner has activated the awakening factor of tranquility, and they develop it and perfect it. Can you imagine how pleasant and fun it is to be developing and perfecting tranquility of body and mind? And when the body is tranquil, they feel bliss, sukha, pleasure, and the mind becomes immersed in samadhi, letting go into that stillness. At such a time, the mendicant has activated the awakening factor of immersion, of samadhi. They develop it and perfect it. They closely watch over that mind immersed in samadhi. So the mindfulness is there watching over it. At such a time, a mendicant has awakened has activated the awakening factor of equanimity because we're observing the mind with equanimity, and they develop it and perfect it. So whenever a meditator, a practitioner meditates by observing an aspect of feelings, mind, Dhamma, at that time their mindfulness is established and lucid. So this goes back through all of the tetrads. You can use any part of it to develop these 7 awakening factors. So there are options and opportunities. And this is how we wake up. This is how we put in the causes and conditions to awaken, to realize Nibbana in this very life. This is an opportunity available to us. Yes, this is the Anapanasati Sutta, number 118 in the Majjhima Nikaya. This is Bhante Sujato's translation, but of course, you can find others as well. So, the reflections on universal well-being. I'm going to do this in English. And if you're all muted and you chant yourself, that would be great. And we can really compose the mind and consider this benefit for all beings and for each of us. Now let us chant the reflections on universal well-being. May I abide in well-being, in freedom from affliction, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may I maintain well-being in myself. May everyone abide in well-being, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may they maintain well-being in themselves. May all beings be released from all suffering, and may they not be parted from the good fortune they have attained. When they act upon intention, all beings are the owners of their action and inherit its results. Their future is born from such action, companion to such action, and its results will be their home. All actions with intention, be they skillful or harmful, of such acts they will be the heirs.
Thank you.
And then let's chant the closing homage. Just a second. There we go. The noble, the perfectly enlightened and blessed one, I render homage to the Buddha, the blessed one. The teachings so completely explained by him. I bow to the Dhamma, the Blessed One's disciples who have practiced well. I bow to the Sangha. All right, my friends. It's been really lovely. It's been really nice to see some of you I haven't seen in a long time, and others who I've not met before. It's really nice to practice together, and I really wish you well on your way. Oh yes, and I did enjoy seeing the people I do see regularly. And I hope you all do well while we're on retreat. So take good care of yourselves and each other.